Hello, I am Jason Rigden, and you are listening to the Podcasting Questions Podcast. This is the show that answers your podcasting questions in under 5 minutes per episode. On today's episode, Frank from Orlando, Florida writes, Hey Jason, my co-host wants to use AC/DC's Back in Black as our podcast theme song. He says that as long as we only use 60 seconds of it, it's considered fair use. Is that true? Thanks for the question, Frank. Fair use is probably the most misunderstood concept in copyright law. I'll tell you one thing for certain though. Using a song as your theme song is absolutely not fair use. Also, there is no fair use exception for only using 20, 30, or 60 seconds of a song. That is a complete and total myth. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I'll tell you what I've seen. Fair use is whatever a judge says it is at the time of the trial. And if you're anything like me, you're a huge coward and you never want to get sued. If you play music on your podcast, you must have permission. If you do play music on your podcast without proper permission, you are violating copyright law and you might be sued. The music industry is starting to crack down on podcasters violating copyright law. Do a Google search for the Poker News podcast. The music industry is suing these guys for millions of dollars because they allegedly played music on their show without the proper permissions. The music industry is asking for statutory damages of $150,000 per copyright violation. Just imagine getting that letter. So Frank, don't use AC/DC's Back in Black as your theme song. If you do, you are just looking for trouble. Thank you for listening to the show. If you have a question about podcasting, just go to podcastingquestions.com. There's a little form there. You fill out the form, and if I choose your question for an episode, I will mention you and your show and put a link to your podcast in the show notes.